Hey everyone, little bit of an earlier one today. Got a lot of stuff to take care of this evening, so I'm sneaking this in. Anyway, it is night 4, Noche un Cuatro. I don't know if that's the correct syntax of it, but I'm pretty sure the words are right at least. Of my little Oktoberfest live series, and this one is that, and everything has been a local product, local to SC even, local to SC product, and from all different parts. We had one from. We started off with the Marson beer from Westbrook down in Low Country, Mount Pleasant area. That little just southeast of Charleston. Then we went up to the South Charlotte, Upper Palmetto region of South Carolina for Legal Remedy. And then we went back to the coast in North Charleston, other end of town from Mount Pleasant for Oktoberfest. And this one, and then I'll give you a little hint towards the finale tomorrow night. We're going back to the upstate, back around here. And this one, simply put, Oktoberfest, and it is from Magnetic South. All my good friends at Magnetic South thought I was singing the Monday Night Football theme for a minute there. All my Rabbit fans are here at Magnetic South. That was a terrible Hank Williams impersonation, but hey, I think you got where I was going with it. And interestingly enough, today had a bit of sad news pertaining to Magnetic South. They are not closing; they're not going out of business, but they are shuttering the Greenville location, sadly, which is extra sad for me because cheers! We've got a oh yes, that's what I want to do. Cheers, Paul. Now the comments are being very very weird, so I'm going to. Oh, okay, there we go. Cheers, Paul. How are you? Remley's Ales, aka PH Bruno's, hopping on, showing the love for my Oktoberfest lives. And Dave from Dave's TV also popping on. What's up, Dave? And everyone's chatting in the comments, of course. Comments, they changed the way they work on StreamYard for mobile device, so I may not be able to leave them up for very long because they kind of block my vision of everything. So, yes, Prost indeed, Prost. So, where was I? I lost my train of thought. Oh, the sad news about Magnetic South. They're closing down the Greenville location, which is a bit extra sad to me because it's actually fairly close to my house. They're not going out of business, thankfully. They still are going to operate out of Anderson. There seems to be some difference of opinion in one of my friends' groups about other news pertaining to their locations, but the Anderson one is still going to be fully operational. So they're not going away, they're just shuttering the Greenville location. Very, very sad. But I'll give them a shout out nonetheless for night 4 of my Oktoberfest series from Magnetic South. Like I said, no crazy name, they just call it Oktoberfest. It is checking in at 5.5, and it's got a very kind of cool guy looking image on top of a Stein. Big fluorescent sunglasses, little traditional German Oktoberfest hat. So very very cool, and it's of course on a beer stein, the person, the glass person anyway. So we're back to my Highland Stein, very appropriate half-liter Stein for this Oktoberfest series. Hey, Dave is jelly. Dave is what's going on here? Oh, he's really place. Dave is jealous of Magnetic South beer, or jealous for an Oktoberfest, or just jealous of the fact that I'm having a beer at all right now. Could be anything, all of the above, anything of the sort, all of the above. So we will get right to this and give the usual shout out to One Flight Down with a shaklook. No active explosion on this one tonight, so Give you the pour up close and personal with the hard pour because you know where you're at. And finally, it took 4 nights of this live series, but I finally got something that claims to be a Martzen, and it looks like a Martzen. Dave, I missed that other one because I had no room to grab these comments. I saw both. Great color, yes indeed. I have been waiting. I don't know if you're able to catch my other lives on replay, but I've been waiting for one of these Oktoberfest beers to be an actual Martzen. So I had the first one on Monday, which was a Martzen beer. So I'm thinking Martzen, and it smelled a little bit of the two. It tasted very, very fest beer-like. So it was still good. It was still crushable. But I was set up for Martzen. I really wanted Martzen. I didn't get any Martzen. The second one didn't claim itself as either Oktoberfest style. And when I tasted it, my reaction was like, this is the hybrid that the first beer should have been. So there was that one. But it was still had a little bit of the, those malty Martzen tones, but it was kind of lacking them in a big, robust way. And then the third one was an actual fest beer. So it lived up to everything it was selling, but nonetheless it was a fest beer, and I really wanted a Martzen. So 4 nights in, I finally get a Martzen. It looks like a Martzen. The head's got more of that tannish color to it. Top that one off. Get the aromatics. And it definitely smells like a Martzen. Although the aroma does boast more of that high bready quality to it. So there is, it does have a malty sweetness to it. Subtle, but it's there. And the carameliness is very roasted. It's kind of like a burnt caramel as opposed to a sweet caramel. And all of these are very, very light and subtle. Very borderline to the point where based off the aroma, you might even think it was going to be watered down. I'm pretty sure I've had this before, and I don't think it is, but it kind of gives you that assumption that it might be, because the notes were all there are very, very light and present. Well, anyway, you've listened to me jabber on enough. So I'm trying to keep the live going, and as all my friends hop on. So cheers. Let's take a sip. This tastes like everything it smelled like, but noticeably stronger. So it has that burnt carameliness, but it's not as subtle as the aroma. It has a touch of that malty sweetness, although it's getting overshadowed by that burnt carameliness. It's still stronger than it was in the aroma. The aroma was very, very faint and subtle. Although I'm not so much getting that strong bread quality. Yes. Dave would very much enjoy this. Dave is one of the brew tubers that's the king of the Oktoberfest style. There's doing another series of live videos next month that I think you'll be very, very intrigued to watch. You may even remember a subtle comment that I slipped in our group chat about it. But yeah, that's the one thing that I'm not getting on the flavor that I got in the aroma is that bread quality, that bread flavor. One more of my friends hopping in. Shane from Shane's Craft Beer Review. How are you, sir? So yeah, this one all the notes are there. All the notes match from aroma to flavor. The notes in the flavor are a lot stronger than the notes in the aroma were. That being said, the bread quality I picked up in the aroma is not as strong in the flavor. Someone else is there. Who misses us? Blue Ice. If I can click on the comment, this is really hard to do on mobile. Blue Ice is here, also hanging out in the room. Another one of our friend group of BrewTubers. Now everyone's maybe I'm just like maybe I should just sneak off earlier to do these lives because I've been doing them around 7-8 o'clock and nobody's hopped on. So maybe 5 o'clock is the magic number. So, yeah, this one very, very solid. Stacks up to the style. The notes in the flavor much stronger than the notes in the aroma. And I think I can get the rest of it in the glass. Well, I should at this point. I've already drank like half the beer. Burp the baby, as Rajopolis says. Or what is it? Dave has a quote too. Get every last sip because craft beer ain't cheap, or something like that, right, Dave? But yeah, very, very solid. Martin. I was hoping to stay consistent and get this to 13 minutes, but I'm not quite sure I've got enough content left to talk about this beer. Other than the fact that I'll recap it for everyone that hopped on late. I started this live series off with a Martzen beer, which made me think Martzen, and was a little bit, I think, attempting to be a combination of the two Oktoberfest styles, a Martzen and a Fest beer. Then I had another one, which didn't claim itself to be either Oktoberfest style, and the execution of it, I think, is what the previous beer should have been. The third live was just straight Fest beer. It claimed to be a Fest beer, smelled, tasted, everything stacked up to being a Fest beer. So I've been really missing Martzens thus far this week on these Oktoberfest lives, and I'm happy that this one not only claimed to be a Martzen, but stacked up and everything tasted like a Martzen. I feel like I'm missing. There we go. I didn't see that one. Definitely a better time for me. And, you are not an unimportant person. Now you see. Now I feel like now you're echoing me when I say I'm a loser and nobody likes me. I feel like you're echoing the things that I say all the time about myself. Yeah, but now we hit that 13-minute mark. So I think, and one more time, prost indeed. So we've hit that 13-minute mark. I stayed consistent, unintentionally so, keeping these lives to about the same amount of time. And so far, so good with these live series. And hold on, I want to get these comments in. Paul says, love a good Martzen. I dislike the new Fest beer style. So, interesting note, I mentioned this in one of the other lives. The Fest beer is just a new style to me in general. I was unaware of this until a few years ago. 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. Because my early Oktoberfest experience was just limited to Sam Adams. So, I didn't know. I thought an Oktoberfest was always a Martzen. And I tried a Fest beer, I'm like, what is this? And then, of course, I started to learn more about it. I'm like, oh, so we can really be one or the other. So they're not always Martzens. So I did not even know that there's a new Fest, an old Fest beer as compared to a new Fest beer or what's currently out. Ain't nobody here and nobody. That's right. See, Dave